I've already taken these apart, and these are a slightly different design. See, they actually run in the pivot on a micro bearing, so that has been cleaned. Each of these small items, I didn't do it in the last pair, but each item gets properly cleaned, and this cloth is impregnated with polishing compound. So just clean them all up, including the threads and this boss and the bearing housing in the actual blade itself will get cleaned out after I've sharpened them, which is in here. I'll do it now, but I'll do it again after I've sharpened them in case there's any swarf inside. You can see it cleans out any gunk that's in there. On this side is where the adjuster has sat. And dirt does build up in there. You do need to clean it out. If it's really dirty, then I use a wooden cocktail stick to scrape the residue out. That's coming out not badly at all. I've already wiped the blades. Now these blades, you'll notice, are a completely different shape. If I get the magnifier again, you'll see these are what's known as a convex edge. You got this twin lenses. It's curved over, and it's a much sharper angle. This is about 40 degrees on these, 45 and then 50. 3 different edges to put on and then polish off to maintain that nice curved edge on the blade. So as per usual, I mark the blade up. That gives me my start point so that I can see it. Let me move those out of the way because I spill them. Same on this one. Mark the edge. I can see that quite happily. It's even given me the shape of the shoulder in the ink, so that I can see where to start when I come to put it against the wheel. Right, I've already put the blade in the jig. Check that it, keep still. Check that it is in absolutely perpendicular to the wheel. And tighten it up. Now, I don't know if you can see in there. I've set this one to 40 degrees to start, and then do the scratch test. To see where it is on the edge. And I don't know, can you see just that little bright shiny bit there? You'll see it just on the edge at 40. So 40, 45 will do the job for these. Possibly need a 50 as well, but the 50 is not putting anything on the edge. That is straight. This is the angle that will give the actual sharpness. Then I go to 45. Come on, turn. Bring it up to 45 and just give a very light dusting across. Because that is purely cosmetic. And then come to hone the edge off. You notice I roll the blade down onto it. I don't place it down, I actually roll the blade down so that the burr doesn't go the wrong way whatsoever. Drag it back 3 times to make sure the burr has been dragged off. Then I can give it a polish and over the pivot. And on this one, because it's coloured blade, here you really can see where I've polished the edge. You'll see this bright line all the way around is the running surface. And that is what we're actually polishing on this process. 5000 grit hone on this block. Really does take out all the tiny little scratches. I'll bring that up close to you. Now you can see that polished surface. This is where the pivot will be running up to about here, and the rest, those are that's the only part of the blade that actually touches are where this silver line is around the edge. That's why you can see the concave nature of this blade. The edge is the convex, and that nice edge will now get honed back into shape. We'll start with on the angle that we had first off. Check it. I can find my mark. There it is. Yep. Put some honing paste in the wheel. Hone that first angle. Now change it from 45 back to 40 for the actual cutting edge. And hone that. Then I will change it back to 50 and hone again, which will just take off that any little facet between those two shoulders. Take the honing paste off while it's still. Yeah. Just take the honing paste off. I like to use plenty of thickness of cloth for that to protect my fingers. You can see where I have actually gone through a few times, and once or twice I have needed a plaster. Right, that's that one done. Wrap it up where it's protected and move on to the second blade. That into the jig just the same as we did before. I'll bring you back here a bit. I'll be able to get a slightly different view of me working. And that's on 50 degrees, so I'm going back to 40 to start with. So just set it on 40 for the first pass. Check it perpendicular against the mark. And the scratch test, just because I always do. You come in there, and you can see in here that is right on the edge and perfect. So now square. Changed it 45. This is purely to put that angle on the curved nature of the blade. Move that out of the way. First block. Roll it onto the hone 3 times. I do it To be fair, the first one should have taken the burr off, but it's just, I like to do it 3 times. Force of habit, I suppose. Swap for the fine block. Same again, roll on, drag it back. And then just polish all those little fine scratchings out. Very lightly on that, and the polish finish comes up. Oh, where's that? Let's see where we can get the light on it. There you go. Dink. You just see that polished line all the way around. And then hone. I'll put some more honing paste in. Back on the jig. It's at 45, but because we're honing, it doesn't really matter which one you do first. Oh, come on. Load the wheel. Then 40, which is on the edge, the actual working edge. And then 50 to help round it off. Now I'm going to put it back together. Take the paste off. Always going away from the edge. I see a nice new edge. I see that nice clean edge down there. Don't believe me, I'm not putting my finger anywhere near it because it's a scalpel. Right, now the time comes to put them back together. For this I have some dry lube for that bearing. First off, get the bearing, take the top off, one little drop, or where have you gone? One drop on the bearing is more than we need. That then drops in. And because it's a bearing, it's tight fit. That's got it bearing back in. Yeah, you've got that square. So now the blades, 90 degrees. Then put in the spring adjuster. Which got to marry up to the square. Come on. Like that. That's better. Put it on square. Just spun. Stand. It's got it. It's just a matter of getting this, the pin, the housing and the spring to line up. It will drag around with the adjuster, but I like to get it lined up before and then just screw the adjuster on. Now listen, that's the adjustment, clicks, and that is tight. Come back 2 clicks. That's all it was, 2 clicks. and that's about right. We can now take the edge off, move that out of the way, cut the burr off just like we did with the chisel edge blades, a little bit at a time, then through and get a single sheet and right through all the way. Finally, check the balance. Yeah, they will loosen up as they become used. Convex pair of scissors, sharpened. Ready for use? Thank you.